The bucket hit the floor before Adaeze's eyes were fully open. Her mother didn't knock. She never knocked. She simply appeared in doorways the way bad news does, without warning and already too late to prepare for. Get up. This floor is disgusting. Adaeze sat up, looked at the concrete floor she had scrubbed on her knees the night before, and said nothing. She had learned early that responding to certain things only made them louder. She took the mop. Started again. Mama Chisholm moved through the small compound like a woman conducting an inspection she had already decided to fail. She dragged one finger across the shelf above the stove, examined the dust on her fingertip, and turned to look at Adaeze the way a judge looks at evidence. You cleaned this place last night? Yes, Ma. So why is this shelf lying to me? Adaeze crossed the room, wiped the shelf, and returned to the floor without a word. Outside, a generator coughed to life somewhere down the street. The sun was already punishing and it wasn't even 7 o'clock. Mama Chisholm poured hot water into a bowl of gari, stirred it slowly, and spoke without looking up. Any man who cannot afford fuel for his own car cannot afford your time. I hope you know that. Or are you planning to climb on the back of somebody's Okada and call it a future? Adaeze kept mopping. Brain needs energy, Mama Chisholm continued. Lazy people don't eat in this house. Remember that. She left the room. Adaeze exhaled, long and slow, the way you release something you've been holding since yesterday. She set down the mop, moved quickly to her corner, stacked her lecture notes, checked the time, adjusted her bag, stirred the pot on the stove, and reached across the counter for her pen simultaneously. That was when her elbow caught the bowl. It happened in half a second. The ceramic bowl, the one Mama Chisholm's own mother had brought from the east, the one that sat on the counter like a small monument, tipped, fell, and broke into 3 clean pieces on the concrete floor. The sound was enormous in the small room. Mama Chisholm appeared in the doorway so quickly it was as though she had been waiting just outside. She looked at the pieces on the floor. Then at Adaeze. Then back at the pieces. When she spoke, her voice was quiet. Which was always the most frightening version of her. My mother's bowl. Mama, I'm sorry, I was rushing and I didn't. Sorry. A long pause. Sorry doesn't put that bowl back together, does it? I have a test today. Please. I'll replace it, I swear I'll replace it. Test. Mama Chisholm said the word like she was tasting something bitter. Go and carry that crate of water outside. Odeola Street. Sell every last bottle. Then come home and tell me about your test. Mama, please. Every last bottle. Adaeze stood completely still for 3 seconds. She looked at her notes on the table. Her bag. Her pen. The crate of water in the corner. Then she picked up the crate and walked out. The street received her the way it always did, without ceremony and without sympathy. Odeola Street was loud before 8 in the morning. Danfo buses, bread sellers, the smell of frying akra mixing with exhaust fumes and the particular desperation of people trying to make Monday work for them. Adaeze moved through it with the crate balanced against her side like she had been born carrying things. A woman outside a shop waved her away without looking up. A man in a blue Sienna rolled his window down, examined the price, and rolled it back up like she had asked him for something unreasonable. $1.50. A customer on a motorcycle shook his head. For ordinary water. Uncle, Adaeze said, the sun burning you right now is the same sun burning me. He drove away. She watched him go. No tears. Just calculation, how many bottles left, how long, how far. Then a car slowed beside her that was different from the others. Not flashy. No loud music. Just a quiet, clean vehicle driven by a man in a plain shirt who rolled his window down like he had somewhere to be but had decided this mattered more. How much for the cold one? 150. He handed her 200 naira and didn't ask for change. Keep it. She looked at the note. She looked at him. She was running her usual calculation. Everyone on this street wanted something, usually something she wasn't willing to give. But this man had already rolled his window up and was pulling away before she could finish the equation. No lingering. No performance. Just gone. Adaeze held the 200 naira for a moment longer than made sense. Then she tucked it into her pocket and kept moving. She returned home with an empty crate and a test she had missed and a feeling she couldn't name sitting quietly in her chest. She set the crate down and reached for her textbook. Generator is not your personal reading lamp. I'm using window light, Mama. And when rain comes, will you read by thunder? Auntie Ngozi, seated at the table with a cup of tea she had not made herself, watched this exchange with the careful attention of someone who was always counting things that didn't belong to her. How is school? She asked Adaeze. Fine, Ma. Just fine. Going well, Ma. Short answers. Eyes on the book. Adaeze knew that Auntie Ngozi's questions were never really questions. They were examinations. And she had long stopped volunteering information she hadn't been asked to give. The following afternoon, Roland's car appeared at the compound gate. The entire compound shifted. Mama Chisholm straightened her wrapper. Auntie Ngozi set down her cup. Even the conversation between two neighbors outside seemed to pause. Adaeze came out of the back room and stopped completely when she saw him standing at the gate. I asked around, Roland said. Hope that's okay. Asked around for what exactly? To find out if you were alright. He paused. You looked like someone carrying something too heavy for the container. She didn't move from the doorway. She was looking at him the way she looked at everything that arrived unexpectedly, searching for the catch. I'm fine, she said. I'm always fine. I believe you. That's what worried me. Something shifted in her face. Almost a smile. She caught it and put it away before it could show. Are you in school? He asked. When life allows it. And when doesn't life allow it? Days like yesterday. He nodded. No pity in it. Just understanding, which was somehow harder to receive than pity. I can drop you tomorrow morning. If you want. I don't need dropping. I know you don't need it. That's not what I said. She looked at him. He held her gaze, steady, patient, no visible anger. I'll think about it, she said. She went back inside. He watched the doorway for a moment. Then he drove away. Inside, Mama Chisholm turned to Auntie Ngozi before the sound of his engine had faded. The performance of casual disinterest was gone from her face entirely. What was left was sharper. More alert. That car. I know, Auntie Ngozi said. That is not a salary car. No. That's either old money or new business. Either way. Either way, Mama Chisholm said slowly, it doesn't park at just any gate. She was quiet for a moment in the way that meant she was not quiet at all. So why is it parking at mine? 3 days later, Adaeze broke a plate. It was an accident. She was tired. She had studied until 2 in the morning by the light of her phone, finished her chores before 5, and was moving at the pace of someone trying to outrun their own exhaustion when the plate slipped from her hands and shattered across the kitchen floor. Mama Chisholm didn't even come to look at it. "Carry the crate," she said from the other room. Adaeze Street. "You know what to do." "Mama, I haven't slept. I have a lecture at." "Carry the crate." Adaeze stood in the kitchen surrounded by broken ceramic and something in her chest felt very close to the edge of something. She breathed. 1 breath. 2. She picked up the crate. On Adaeze Street, Tan found her. He pulled up on his Okada with his textbook strapped behind him and his face falling the moment he saw what she was holding. "Adaeze. Not again. Don't. The lecturer is marking attendance today. If you miss." "I know, Tan." "Then leave the crate." "Leave it right here, I carry you, Will." "I can't leave it." "Why?" "Because she'll punish you." His voice cracked with frustration. "She'll punish you for something else tomorrow. And the day after. That's not going to stop and you know it." Adaeze kept walking. He jumped off the Okada and walked beside her. "You are one of the best people in that department," he said, quieter now. "Everyone knows it. Your lecturer knows it. But nobody is going to keep a space open forever, Adaeze. At some point." "At some point what?" Turned. She stopped walking. Turned to face him. Her eyes were dry but something behind them was not. "What exactly would you like me to do? Leave the crate and go to school and come back to what? To someone who will find 3 other reasons to put me back on this street tomorrow." He had no answer. "I know what I'm worth," she said. "The problem is that knowing it doesn't change this crate." A long silence sat between them. "You deserve more than this compound," Tan said finally. "I mean that." She looked at him, really looked at him, and for just a moment something soft and unguarded crossed her face. "Go," she said. "Don't be late because of me." He stood there a moment longer. Then he got back on his Okada and rode away. She watched him until he disappeared into the traffic. Then she picked up the crate again. Roland found her 20 minutes later, on the same stretch of road. He slowed when he saw her. Got out of the car this time, which surprised her. "Again," he said. "Don't look at me like that." "Like what?" "Like I'm something broken." "I'm not." He was standing a few feet away, not crowding her, not performing concern. "I'm looking at you like you're something that refuses to break. That's different." She set the crate down on a low wall and sat beside it. And for the first time in the entire story she simply stopped moving. No mopping, no studying, no calculating. Just still. "You want to know something?" she said. "Tell me." "I have 2 versions of myself." She looked out at the street as she spoke, not at him. "There's the one you see out here, the one who knows how to survive this road, this house, this life. And then there's another one. The one that comes out when nobody is watching. She has plans. She has ideas. She actually believes things are going to change." She paused. "Every morning I wake up and decide which one gets to show up. And most mornings, the choice isn't really mine." Roland was quiet for a moment. "Which one is talking to me right now?" She thought about it. Genuinely considered it. "I'm not sure yet," she said. "That's either a good sign or a terrifying one." I'll take either one. She looked at him then. Really looked. Searching for the lie the way she always searched. The angle. The cost hidden underneath the kindness. She didn't find it. That evening Adaeze came home to find Mama Chisholm sitting alone in the half-dark, the generator off, no television, no Auntie Ngozi. Just her mother in a chair looking like a woman who had been arguing with herself for hours. Adaeze set down the empty crate. Moved to the kitchen. Your father had that same look, Mama Chisholm said. Adaeze stopped. What look? The one you've been carrying around this week. Like the world owes you something better than what it gave you. I'm not asking the world for anything. That man is going to use you. Her mother's voice was not cruel now. It was something worse, it was afraid. Men like that don't stay in compounds like this. They visit. Then they disappear. I have seen it happen to better girls than you. Maybe, Adaeze said. She turned around. Faced her mother directly. But I would rather take that chance than spend my whole life making sure nothing hurts me by making sure nothing can reach me. Mama Chisholm's eyes hardened. Girls like you get swallowed up. Quietly. Nobody hears from them again. Then let them hear from me. She did not raise her voice. There was no need to. This was not a shout. It was something quieter and more permanent than that. I am leaving this compound, Mama. Not tonight, I don't have the means tonight. But I am leaving. And when I go, it will not be running. It will be walking out with everything I worked for. Everything this street, this house, and even you taught me. And nobody is going to be able to say I didn't earn it. Mama Chisholm said nothing. The silence stretched between them, wide and deep and final. For the first time in Adaze's entire life, her mother had nothing to say. The next morning came the way mornings always did, too early, too bright, indifferent to whatever had broken the night before. Adaeze sat at the window with her textbook open on her lap, the same cracked hands, the same page. But she sat differently. Like someone who had signed a private agreement with their own future and was simply waiting for the paperwork to catch up. Roland's car idled briefly outside the gate. She saw it through the window. She looked at it. Then looked back at her book. And turned the page. Asterisk if this story moved you, hit the like button, it took everything to tell it right. Subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. And drop a comment below, tell me, which version of yourself shows up most mornings.